On Sunday night, Tony Mullen drove 110 miles an hour on side streets from home to get back to University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where she had just worked a 12-hour shift as a clinical supervisor in the trauma resuscitation department. Her car was smoking as she pulled into a 3-hour parking spot close to the trauma center. Ms. Mullen, 54, left her hazard lights blinking as she shut the car door and raced inside. Around a dozen patients had already arrived from the shooting scene at a music festival on the Las Vegas Strip. 2 were dead and 2 had been black-tagged, fully assessed and found to have injuries that were not survivable. Ms. Mullen's daughter, Antoinette Kennan, 29, a trauma nurse who also works at the hospital, was standing out front with a physician assistant, taking injured patients out of vehicles as they drove up to the hospital and quickly assessing whose conditions were the most precarious. "The minute I got there, I looked at the situation and said, how am I going to utilize my resources?" Ms. Mullen, a registered nurse, said in a telephone interview Monday morning. By daybreak, 104 patients had arrived. University Medical Center is the only Level 1 trauma center in Nevada and one of only a few freestanding trauma units in the nation. That means it is fully staffed with surgeons and trauma nurses day and night to handle injuries and mass casualties, from vehicle crashes that bring in 10 patients at a time to a 2015 episode in which a woman drove onto the Las Vegas Strip, sending 17 patients to the medical center. Last week, there had been 15 trauma cases in one night. But even with 11 trauma bays, 3 operating rooms, a CT scanner, a trauma intensive care unit and a pediatric intensive care unit all under one roof, the trauma center had never faced a torrent like this. For 2 or 3 hours, the patients came non-stop. The radio at the clerk's desk blared with transmissions from paramedics. With the frequency overburdened, other paramedics resorted to calling in patients by phone. Many patients simply arrived in cars or, in one instance, several in the back of a truck.